Hey everybody. I think what we're going to do now, just so I have something to post and something for people to ponder, is we're going to do some fun things for the next couple of videos. One of them right now here is going to be exposing the Hebrew roots psyop and all the things that are involved with it. This includes the flat Earth stuff. This includes having to do all the Jewish laws as a Christian, and basically we're going to start with the flat Earth stuff because I think it's really fun. Now, the flat Earth subject I did a video on this before, and it was on a channel that got taken down, just exposing everything, just showing articles and books and things. There was a guy by the name of J. Allen Hynek, Hynek, and he is a PSYOP creator that was hired by the CIA. And in the 70s, he came up with the PSYOP for Flat Earth. Basically, the CIA hired him to do a PSYOP against religious groups using Flat Earth as the basis. And this is where this comes from. And basically he was hired to do a PSYOP against Christianity. It could be used on other religions too, but it was basically targeted towards Christians with the Bible. And he later did the Iraqi freedom PSYOP to make the Iraqi people welcome the American troops on their streets for all those years. So he has a history with the CIA. Now, he divulged this. Before I go into that, he based it on the Flat Earth Society out of, I think it was MIT. It was basically a group of super smart nerds that on the weekends they had a group called, it was like a social club called the Flat Earth Society, back in, I think, the teens, not the 20s, but the teens of the 1900s. I think it was around then. And what it was they used to come up with theories on how to prove Flat Earth. Now, most of these theories are inconsistent with each other, and this is when you see these 150 reasons of Flat Earth, 200 notice of 200 reasons of Flat Earth. I've debunked each and every one of them in the past. We're going to probably do that. This is just the introduction to the video, but I will get to debunking each and every one of those 200 reasons, because they're all inconsistent with each other, is number one. Number two, they don't obey any laws of physics at all. And most of them, most of this stuff is very easily provable, because it's just basic common sense overrides many of them. So back to this J. Allen Hynek guy who came up with using this Flat Earth Society and all their little crazy theories they used to do just for a laugh, decided to use that with some of these obscure verses in the Bible, and turn it into a PSYOP against people that read the Bible, which includes Christians, and Muslims read the Old Testament, and Jews read the Old Testament. Okay, so this is how this became a Hebrew root, part of the Hebrew root PSYOP. On that note, how do I know Hebrew roots is a PSYOP? Well, I started getting a hunch when I noticed that all the Hebrew rooter Christian, quote unquote, Christians out there were all ex-military. They all had pretty large YouTube channels, and they came to similar conclusions that I did when I read the Old Testament, because I read the Bible cover to cover, so I read it like a book, read it Genesis to Revelation. And during the Old Testament I realized, wow, this Torah stuff is pretty detailed and important and everything. This is all Yahweh, by the way. And I started asking myself questions. Maybe we should obey the Sabbath. And so basically, when you read the Bible cover to cover, it's pretty natural for you to think that, wow, we probably should obey the Sabbath because, it's all over the place. But anyway, that's just not the case. And Jesus came to undo all the problems of the Old Testament and whatnot. And so the thing is, I noticed the pattern that every one of these Hebrew rooter guys and the flat earth guys, a lot of them too, were all ex-military. That Ron Skiba guy, the whole Parable of the Vineyard crew. There's many of these Hebrew root people that are just, it just looks like they're doing it for a job. Like it's a covert thing to infiltrate Christianity and divide Christianity. And that's what Hebrew Roots is. It's a psyop to divide Christianity, and Flat Earth is part of it. And now I know there's a lot of people that aren't Hebrew rooters that believe in Flat Earth too, and that's the goal, is because really the goal of Flat Earth is to make Christians look ignorant and look like idiots. Make us look stupid. They love to make us look stupid. We know that now based on what they're doing. Right now, we're in the middle of a Christian psyop right now with the wars and rumors of wars, and they're using all these Bible things against us. They're putting this stuff on the news. We go, oh, it's in the Bible, and they're doing it because we know that we're going to say. But it doesn't change the fact that we're still in the season. It's just they want to wear us out. Here's the verse right there. Okay? And this is very effective. A lot of people are getting tired, and I'm definitely tired. Not so much from the news. I'm annoyed by all the fake news and all the little rabbit trails they lead us down. But it's really the laser zapping and the microwave frequency zapping that I'm getting. I got hit twice today answering an email, already, and it's 5:30 in the morning. So it's definitely wearing me out. So this is a little introduction. I'm going to have my coffee and get started with my day, come back to this, and we're going to try to find all the Bible verses that talk about this. Well, I asked a commenter, could you please provide me the Bible verses that support flat Earth? And of course he couldn't. He led me to this 200 reasons that support flat Earth. And, again, I've debunked them all personally. Now that I'm looking at it again, it's debunked all over the place. And I haven't watched the 2-hour video yet, and I'm not going to. But flat Earth is a psyop. Let's look at this here. Let's see. Here we go. Does the Bible say the earth is flat? The Bible does not explicitly say that the earth is flat. However, some interpretations, of certain biblical passages have been used historically to argue the Bible suggests the earth is flat. And, here are a few examples. So the circle of the earth does not mean it's flat. There's that one in Isaiah. The Isaiah, when he marks out the horizon on the face of the waters for a boundary between light and darkness. That doesn't prove it's flat at all. That just proves that the curvature of the earth, you can't see past the curvature of the earth. That actually proves that more. Revelation 7:1, I saw 4 angels standing in the 4 corners of the earth. Well, the 4 corners, north, south, east, and west. We call the earth having 4 directions all the time. Just because they use the word corners doesn't mean it's flat either. So is it square earth? I thought it was circle earth up here. I thought it was a circle. Now it's a square? Circle doesn't have corners. See, every argument they have is inconsistent with each other. That's number one. And here's some more verses. Let's see. Psalms. Psalms is all poetry. So he set the earth on its foundations so that it should never be moved. So that's a figurative, artistic, you could pick apart song lyrics on modern day radio. Lots of that stuff, lots of euphemisms and things, metaphors and things. That's not proof of anything. I'm reading these in real time. I have not read these first. I'm just doing this on the fly. Tremble before him, all the earth. Yes, the world is established, it shall never be moved. Well, it actually says in the Bible that the earth will be shaken and the mountains will not be in their places anymore. So, you know, the earth shall never be moved. So, well, I don't think anything can move the earth out of its orbit, except for an asteroid that's about the size of the moon or the earth itself hitting us. That might knock us like a pool ball, but that's probably not going to happen because it's not in the Bible. Job 26, he stretches out over north and over the void and hangs the earth on nothing. Well, you know, before people understood space and gravity and mass and laws of motion and Newton's laws, that's probably how they viewed things. So that proves absolutely nothing. Job was not a scientific person at all. And it wasn't until the Greek mathematicians and let me see, some of the Arabic mathematicians, it was really the Greeks that perfected math. And so this is predating that. I would expect most people, primitive people, to think of things in this way. Matthew 4:8. Again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. Well, this is supernatural stuff going on here, so this doesn't apply. Obviously, Satan is the devil here, is in another dimension, and so if he took Jesus and showed him things, somehow he was able to show these other dimensions to Jesus. That's not proof of flat earth at all. And again, I'm just reading these one by one for the very first time right now. This is how easy it is to debunk this stuff. The Lord reigns. He is robed in majesty. The Lord is robed. He has put on strength as his belt. Yes, the world is established. It shall never be moved. Again, this is Psalms. This is poetry. This is, again, songs say all kinds of things about rain and wind and, you know, how magical they are when it's, you know, scientific process of molecules and atoms and things. On that note, one of the 10,000 questions I have for God when I get to heaven is, how did you figure out how to turn light into particles? It still baffles me how light actually becomes matter. So when you take it down to the Planck particle, to the nano level, the Planck particle is the smallest known particle, and from that point, any smaller than that, it disappears. So at that point, that's question number one for me, for God. How did you figure that? Well, there's probably other questions that are more important, but that's something I would really like to know. How he figured out how to turn light into matter. So basically everything you see is made from light, just so you know. There's more space between the atoms than there is matter. It's all electromagnetic energy, and it's fascinating to me. Job, can you, like him, spread out the skies hard as a cast metal mirror? Okay, well, that's his, you know, ancient perception of things before they ever even invented a balloon to go up and look down on the earth. Okay, just so you know, I've been on mountains high enough where you can see the curvature of the earth. You really can. You can hold a straight edge, a 3-foot straight edge up, and you can see it. You can see it from the cliffs of Malibu. There's a cliff in Malibu. It's at the top of Mesa Peak Motorway. It's the highest point closest to the ocean. And you can see a very large 180-degree view of the ocean from there. And you can see the curvature of the earth with your own eyes. It's hard to find a place that's high enough near the ocean to do that. So either a really tall building, but this mountain's about 2,200 feet high, about 2,000 feet high, and you get a really great view, 180 view of the ocean, and you can see the curve with your own eyes. Isaiah 11, he will raise, again, for the first time reading this, he will raise a signal for nations and will assemble the banished of Israel and gathered the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Okay, north, south, east, west, got that covered. Again, is it a square earth or a circle earth in Isaiah 40? See, Isaiah 40, Isaiah itself, Isaiah 40 up here at the very first one, he who sits above the circle of the earth. But then down here, there's four corners of the earth in Isaiah 11. So is it square or circle? Even within its own descriptions, it's inconsistent with itself, which is telling us that Isaiah is using creative writing here. That's all it is. So I think that'll be it. I'm going to leave a link. I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, this tablet doesn't go straight to YouTube anymore. They've shut it down. Got this. This is the notice I got last week when I was trying to upload the video I'd just done to YouTube. So now I have to transfer this to another device and do it from there, and real fun. So anyway, I'll leave a link in the description to a Flat Earth debunk video. They've already done it, and I took a look at it. And this is the 200 proof. There's not a spinning ball by this yoga instructor, Eric Dubai, and this is the guy they debunk. You know, every one of these things is highly debunkable. First of all, I just want to look at number 5. This is actually using the wrong math in number 5 here. You have to actually use trigonometry to get the actual, so this 8-inch per mile thing, it doesn't work because it's actually a trigonometry problem, and it doesn't work when you use basic math. So with trigonometry is basic math, but they're using the wrong formula here. Because it's not 8 inches per mile, it actually increases dramatically. So I may have said that wrong, but it's not. I've already looked at that. I have to sit down and do it again. But that's just one I noticed right away. It's one of the top ones, and you know, there's just a lot of stuff here that I've gone through each and every one of these myself. And they're absolutely ridiculous. They don't hold up with each other. And the easiest one is, you know, I'm trying to find a picture of a map here to show you, but you know, yeah, these flight routes do not exist. This one here, yeah, this one here is one of the problems, because to go from Sydney to Johannesburg on a flat earth, you have to go over Asia. And that's just not what they do. That's one of the easiest ones to see, the flight paths. And he's got some nonsense excuse for them, but there's just endless nonsense here that doesn't hold up with each other. And, you know, so this is part of the Hebrew root psyop to take the Old Testament and turn it into this religion within its own religion, and I don't buy any of it. So yeah, the one about eclipses is also always funny too. You know, it's the biggest waste of time I've ever seen. People put so much effort into this, it's unbelievable. And just scrolling through, I think we're almost there. You know, this just shows you how stupid it is. You know, they think gravity is below the earth. It's just funny. It's funny. You know, they say water is gravitized. I'm just looking at some of the words here. You know, water's got surface tension. That's totally different than the water sticking to the earth, the atmosphere. So anyway, I'm real sorry that this is such a stupid topic, but I have to debunk it before it gains any more ground on my channel. This is something that is easily debunked, and I will leave the link to the debunking videos that are out there, and I'm sure they've done a great job because these are actual science people. Unfortunately, they're not Christians, so maybe I'll do a Christian version of it a little later. I've got a few minutes here to continue, but this is all about wearing out the saints. This is here, it's talked of in Daniel 7, and this is a psyop to wear us out. Part of it. There's a lot going on. One of the other things that just came to mind that I just thought was funny was when they said, well, airplane pilots would have to point their plane down the whole time if theirs was flat. I just thought that was pretty funny because on the flat Earth map, you would have to turn the plane left the whole time to go from London to New York. It's like something like that. So their logic is so comical. And those 200 proofs, those are all straight out of the Flat Earth Society, out of MIT. This guy didn't come up with them. Neither did the Skiba guy. This is literally what the social group at that college 100 plus years ago came up with as a joke. And the thing is now, 10 years ago or so, when I used to Google this stuff, you could find stuff about J. Allen Hynek. You could find stuff about the Flat Earth Society from that college. It's all gone. Nothing comes up. There's even a band named Flat Earth Society now. So I think so. When you Google that phrase, you're bombarded with other new information. You're never going to find anything. Not that there was an internet back then, but there were references to it in articles and such. And the article that was done in, I'm trying to remember what magazine it was. It wasn't Nature. It was an article with J. Allen Hynek being interviewed, and he divulged that he put together the Flat Earth PSYOP to basically divide religious groups. So, and of course you can't find that anymore. Even a reference to it, you can't find it anymore. So they've scrubbed the internet of all that. So that shows you it's a PSYOP. If you can't find a magazine article with J. Allen Hynek's name in it and Flat Earth, if you can't even find that on a search, it's because it's been scrubbed. And why is it scrubbed? Because it's a PSYOP. They don't want you to know the truth. This is a Freemason thing, and all the people involved in Hebrew Roots, they all have a military background. They all have Illuminati. You get the sense they're working for the Illuminati. That Christian Truthers guy, he's full-blown Illuminati Jesus denier now. And he was a Hebrew Roots guy that is now gone to the point where he says Jesus didn't even exist. So this is all a PSYOP within Christianity. It's a satanic PSYOP, guys. Hebrew Roots is. The Flat Earth thing is satanic. It's really a shame. I feel bad for even talking about it this long already, but it's necessary because we are getting worn out, and this is just one of their tools to do it. The constant engagement online of non-Christians pretending to be Christians. Let me see if I have it in here. Shucks, I don't have it in this tablet, but there's some Christian YouTubers. I really want to show his face. Todd. But these are fake Christians that Todd, his name is Todd Rushton. He's got a YouTube channel. He's one of these guys trying to catch you. This has to do for bringing you forth between rulers and kings for a testimony. Now, there's another version of this. Let me see if it's in my notes here. Oh, shoot. I'm just reading this here real quick. There's another version of it here. Let me think where I can find it. There it is. So they shall deliver you up to council, synagogues, be beaten, and shall be brought to you for kings and rulers from for a testimony against them. So this Todd guy, he actually tried to tell me that satellites are attached to balloons. And he said it straight face, like he, deadpan face, said it on his YouTube channel. I thought, wow, man. And I played along. I just played along. I didn't let him know I was on to him at all. But these are the infiltration within our community. Fake Christians. It's either that or this guy's completely duped. I don't think he's duped. He's got like this giant farm up in Canada, and anybody that's that successful is usually not that stupid. Unless you're a Freemason. He just gave you stuff, no matter how stupid you are, as long as you're doing Satan's work. So I think he's a Freemason. And when you tell me to my face, basically, that satellites are held up by balloons, these same satellites that are launched by rockets in Florida and Vandenberg here in California, and I think in Texas maybe as well. And you're telling me that they're this is the psyop, guys. This is really to make us look stupid, and these people are all in on it. This is why I stay away from the Gematria people like Joseph and those guys. I just don't listen to them because I don't believe they're genuine. They're completely duped. And here's the thing about that: they support each other. They work in little pairs, and I think that. And I caught him. I actually got the video clip of him admitting it, that he's a wolf and he works with the younger one to get people. So this is very dangerous. And now that we're at the very end, I'm willing to talk about it freely. I don't care what they think of me or what they say about me. They're evil. They're evil people. Let me show you something real quick. So I used to be in the mountain biking unit. You can see that's the name of this website up here. And on their homepage, now I'm not in this anymore. I did a video about these. They're all Freemasons in here. And the photographer guy is a Freemason. And he wasn't here at this accident. But the girl that was there with me that day when I crashed and broke my pelvis, I cracked my pelvis. Really, I tore a ligament in my leg, and I couldn't move my leg because it was so painful. But this has been on their website since 2018. That's me laying in the helicopter there. Why is this? Because they are doing witchcraft on me. This is me looking like I'm dead. They've had this on their website for 6 or 7 years now. And I think it's really sad. I saw this guy the other day. I pulled over. He avoided me. The guy that's in charge of putting the photos on this site. So I'm thinking about contacting him and asking him to take it down. But he's a Freemason. He wears Virgin Mary socks on his bike rides. So he's a hardcore Jesuit Freemason Catholic Satan worshiper. And this is, he's put this picture on there for 6 years now of me laying in a stretcher as part of their little witchcraft. That's what they do. They're evil people. I feel bad for them all. They're all liars. These are all people that tried to get you to take the shot, pretended to be your friends, and they were in the Freemasons. And basically, if they told you to take the shot, it's because they're trying to kill you. They're murderers, guys. It's funny, I saw this guy the other day. Haven't seen him in a long time. Little creep. Little satanic troll about 5'1". So, they get off on having this picture on the homepage of the mountain bike unit of me laying there injured. Wasn't in any fear for my life. I was just in so much pain I couldn't move my leg. No way to even walk out of there because I tore it was a type of avulsion from the muscle detaching from your pelvis, basically. And it was like a knife. It was so painful I couldn't move. So, anyway, witchcraft of the Freemasons. They're all evil, evil, evil Satan-worshipping psychopaths, every single one of them. So let's see if I can switch over to my phone here. I've got a few minutes to kill. And, this subject here is just, it started out being just
not that important to me. Like it's still not, but I can see just how much they're using these tools within. It's basically the psyops on Christianity are all around us now. On the news, the Hebrew roots thing, all of this stuff. Now, part of the stuff about Hebrew roots and the psyop behind it, let me hold on. I mentioned it's to divide us, okay? And then within the community, they do this wearing you out. Now, I just went to Trader Joe's, and there's a lot of people know that's at the top, who's involved with them. And, well, it doesn't really matter about that. But, there's people that work everywhere that are in these secret organizations. Now, I just got confronted by at least one of them. He's a, Filipino guy. There's a lot of Filipino. I think most Filipinos here are Freemasons, most of them. And this guy was on his break, staring. I'm in the car, just listening to something with the engine running for about 5 minutes, and he's just out there and just kept looking over at me. And it's like, wow, I'm all the way across the parking lot. And then I get out of the car, and he decides to get off his brake then, and then makes a point to turn around and say hi to me. And then he makes a point to say hi to me in the store. And I gave him the little Illuminati symbol, and you know what he said to me? He said, I said, am I supposed to do this? And he says, oh, Illuminati. He's like, oh, Freemason. Oh, so a guy some random guy at Trader Joe's. Random guy, just on his little 5-minute break. The store just opened, by the way. So why are you on a break? Because you were told I was on the way there and to make eye contact with me. So they want you to know they're watching you. But back to the story. How would some clerk at Trader Joe's know that the Illuminati and the Freemasons are associated with that hand symbol? Right? I mean, if you did that to anybody else, they'd go, "What? I don't know what that means," But this guy not only knew it was Illuminati, he knew it was Freemason. So I just think it's funny. It doesn't bother me. Oh, and then, of course, I got zapped. I got 2 meters with me today, and I got zapped. At least the meters got zapped. So, this is all part of wearing out the saints of the Most High. And so thank God. I love the confirmation that I'm a saint of the Most High with that in itself. That's just fantastic. Honestly, why would anybody care what John does or thinks or anything? Anything. I used to think it was the financial stuff. I used to think it was my business ideas, that just the effort to steal. It's about wearing me out. That's what it is. It's not about the money. I've made some money. I've lost some money. I've made some more money. I've lost some money. It's about wearing you out. That's what it's about. And that's why you see a lot of watchers just getting a little weary right now. They're all probably getting some electronic warfare done to them as well. All of our phones are getting slower and slower. Are they not? I mean, my phone barely can upload anything now. It used to be lightning fast before Christmas. And I'm like, oh, they slowed my phone down, so I have to buy a new phone for Christmas. Yeah, none of my friends are complaining. Just me. Just other Christians online. Anyway, you can see what this is all about. So let's see. There's so much I wanted to say about the Hebrew roots. And as I was driving, I thought of like 5 more things to say. But of course, I'm driving, couldn't write them down. But, like, for instance, I used to watch that Christian Truthers channel. And his name is Justin Best. And he, around the same time that I had figured out the stuff, he put out a pamphlet about Paul, and I went, oh wow, I'm not the only one that sees this. And anyway, he had been working on it for a while, but he didn't divulge it till after I already had figured it out on my own. And I talked to him a couple times, back and forth. I said, yeah, I saw this, and I went to my friends, and they're like, oh, you're a heretic and this and that. Bottom line is, that's another division of Christianity, and that's just, you can take it either way with that. Basically, I say churches teach Paul. I read Jesus in the Bible. I stick with that. I don't need Paul's interpretation of what Jesus says when he can't even quote him. And that was the point. Most of these people that claim to be Christians in our community, okay, I named one of them already. They claim to be, well, first of all, they believe in the Hebrew root stuff. They believe in flat earth and satellites are hung by balloons and just ridiculous things. But they can't even quote scripture. And that's what's inspired me to do this video. Was the guy who left a comment yesterday. I just asked, first thing I said is, send me all the verses. I'd love to look at them. And I was honest, because honestly, it's been so long, and I never knew all the verses. I knew there was a couple of them, and I just showed you them all. Well, I was hoping to show those verses, but I can't find that spot in the video to do a screenshot of it. But the thing is that most of these people, when asked simple questions about scripture, they don't know scripture at all. This is a sign of indoctrination. If you can't quote the things you're arguing, if you can't even come up with one verse about the biblical flat earth, it's clear. You've got an agenda. This is about engaging people, wasting their time, getting zapped, all these things these people do. So, like I said, I was looking at an email and looking at that quote this morning, this comment this morning, got zapped twice, email and a comment. Went to Trader Joe's, got the little Freemason contact at the Trader Joe's, and got the zap meter went off in the car, and so this is their game. This is part of wearing out the saints of the Most High, and that's why I'm talking about it, because it's exhausting. And I don't know how, this is now 3 years of the zapping for me, and now I look back on my life, and these people have been in my life ever since I was a teenager, and probably before. I could talk about some things that go into my single-digit years that now I know were a part of it too. It's pretty unbelievable, pretty overwhelming to think, wow, this massive effort to harass me goes back to when I was in my single-digit years. And I've talked about it. I'm not going to talk about it in this video, but boy, this, I don't want to even talk about it in this video. But what they have done is these people are working with demons, working with Satan. They have access to things normal people don't. They know things about you before you're born, basically, or when you're born. They know things about you, and you're basically targeted from the minute you're born if you're a saint of the Most High, right there. Okay? And that's what this is about. They are trying to get us to fold and fail and snap and lose it, and just don't. These people are all going to hell. The guy at Trader Joe's, I feel bad for the guy. It's like, he literally told me he's a Freemason. You recognize that sign as Illuminati, and you know that's a Freemason thing, and you work at Trader Joe's. Dude, nobody at Trader Joe's knows this stuff. Come on, most Christians don't even know this stuff. The only people that knows this stuff are people that are one of them. And they're all around. I'm in the Los Angeles area, and they're just everywhere out here. And now I understand why all these stupid people can afford these expensive houses. You know how much it costs to rent a house out here now? It was up to like $5,000 for a little 3-bedroom house in the valley. It's back down to $3,500 or $4,000. But do the math. You need a $50 an hour job just to break even at the end of the month to live out here now, and that's $100,000 a year, and that's poverty in Los Angeles now. So how do these people do it? How do they do it? Um, most of them are married, and that explains a lot of it. And a lot of them are in the medical field. A lot of these Filipino. I told you this guy at Trader Joe's was a Filipino, and they're all in the medical field. They're all part of the shots. They were all part of the deception. Anybody that told you to take a shot and they told you that they took a shot but they lied and didn't, they're murderers. They're murderers. It's attempted murder is what it is. These people are so evil and they're everywhere. Everywhere. They're in the police, they're in the fire department, they're in the doctor's offices and hospitals. Just eat healthy, guys. Stay healthy as you can. They're going to be doing these things to us this year. Now, I want to talk about 2025, and I may have to do another video about it, because this is probably already, I don't know how long this is already. But when I paste this one onto what I did earlier. But it's clear that 2025 has been in their targets for a while. And, we know about Agenda 2030. So what is going to happen? The depopulation on a massive level starts. I think they failed in 2020. They only got 17 million with that whole global thing. That's nothing. I mean, you can understand. 1 million people die every day in this world naturally. You know what I mean? So you doubled that for 17 days? That's the best you could do? Seriously. They failed. Why? Because God made them fail. Their little campaign of, did you get the shot? Which one are you getting? I got the Johnson & Johnson. All that crap. Remember, all these people that did that, they're all in on it. A lot of dumb people did too, but my point is that I know from the mountain bike unit, all those people in it are Freemasons. Pretty much every single one, or married to one if they're a female. And they were all pushing, and lying. Saw another Freemason neighbor, mountain biker guy, in his car. I haven't seen him in months, and he just looked at me out his window and made some crazy gesture, and I went, wow, man, they're just evil people. Jerry, just what a waste of space this guy is, And before I knew Jerry and Todd were Freemasons, I was trying to talk to them about the Bible. I said, yeah, I finally figured it out, and this is true. There's no way mathematically, scientifically, biologically, all this stuff happened by itself. None of it. Impossible times 1,000. Hold on. Oh, that's strange. The section in the video came up that I wanted to point out all these verses. Let me pause it there. To jump back, I had a phone call and got interrupted. So when you ask these people that are pushing the flat earth thing, give me the Bible verses. They can't even do that, and here they are. It literally took me 30 seconds to find them all. I had to ask twice. So that tells me you're only here to cause confusion and chaos and wear us out. So bye-bye. Deleting your comment. If you don't like it, don't watch my channel. I haven't blocked you yet, whatever your name was, but it's clear. It's clear you're a fraud. Okay? These people make themselves known by their own behavior. I don't got to do a thing. Ask a simple question, get the runaround. Pull in the Trader Joe's parking lot, people are staring at you and paying way too much attention to you, not anybody else. And I was in my car, they couldn't even see me. So they recognized the car. And when I got out, still paid attention to me. And then I give them the Illuminati symbol, and it's like, oh, Illuminati, Freemason. Oh, you're just a $5 an hour employee at Trader Joe's. I mean, that's what it used to be back when I was a kid. $5 an hour job. And now it's probably $40 an hour. I don't know. At least 20. But it's clear that these people in these menial jobs that have so much, it's because they're part of it. And they're given assignments and told to do these things to their fellow citizens, and that's not love for your neighbor. So there it is. Now I gotta run. I'm gonna stop it here. Maybe I'll do a closer when I got another minute or two.